الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والعاقبة للمتقين، ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأن محمدا عبده ورسوله، ثم أما بعد. So my dear respected brothers and sisters, عربي ولا إنجليزي كمان؟ The two? Urdu maybe, huh? Spanish? We'll mix Arabic and English, inshallah. Khair, inshallah. I'm here tonight to talk to you about a subject that I have spoken to you about several times in the past. Literally since 2001, when we established the first youth center in Brooklyn, New York. It is the issue of raising a generation of American Muslims in this country. And I want to share with you some studies that I haven't conducted. Those studies. Very well-respected institutions in this country came up with those studies. New York Times published a study done by the School of Medicine of Pittsburgh University a while ago, 2008, over 10 years ago. They wanted to see the impact of music on young men and women in this country. In particular, they want to see how much exposure a young man or woman, a teenager, is exposed to talks about drugs while they listen to music. So the School of Medicine of Pittsburgh University decided to analyze the most popular 279 songs in 2008 according to the Billboard magazine. And they issued the outcome of the study. And they issued every single type of music, whether it's a hip hop, rap, country music, but I'll give you the very brief outcome. They found out that an average teenager in America is exposed to music and songs that contain a direct reference to drug and substance abuse 84 times a day, over 570 times a week, and over 30,000 times a year. So a teenager who listen to a music in regular basis are exposed to a reference to drug abuse or substance abuse over 30,000 times a year. That is not my study. That is the study published by New York Times, done by the School of Medicine of Pittsburgh University. That is just one aspect. We can always say, you know what, but our community is fine. Our kids are so amazing. They have nothing to do with this. So I invite you to visit the FYI.org, the Family and Youth Institute.org, a research organization that has done some research amongst Muslim college students that shows female and male, college Muslim students, 17% of female have done marijuana versus 28% in male college students. 19% female have done gambling versus 36% in male students, and 26% of female have used tobacco versus 44% of male college students. And more statistics that you can find in the FYI.org. So our community is not immune from the ills of the society. And if I ask if you have known or witnessed in your community or elsewhere a young man have died because of an overdose, raise your hand. And I can tell you, living in New York City, almost every 3 or 4 months in our community in Brooklyn, there is a young man who died because of an overdose. This is one. Second, in America, in 1980, there was 11% of Americans who identified themselves with no religions. They're known as atheists or religious nuns. You call them whatever you want, but they associate with no religion. In 2016, that percentage has increased to 24%. 24%. 1 out of every 4 people you come across in the United States is somebody who doesn't believe in God, has no association with no religion. And we can always say, you know what, our community is awesome. We Muslims, we believe in God. Our kids are fine. But here is a new research study of Pew Research, one of the most authentic research centers, in 2016, saying that 23% of young Muslims, young people who grow up in Muslim homes, no longer identify themselves with the faith. 23%. So we get 23%, 24% converts coming into Islam, and we get 23% who, you know what, just leave me alone, give me a break. I have nothing to do with this. There is no further studies that shows whether or not they come back in a later phase in their life. Allah knows. But this is the research studies that we have from Pew Research. And I told the brothers earlier, I visited 18 different cities across the country in the last 14 weeks. South, West Coast, and East Coast. And I have met old friends who are committed Muslims, like you and I, who come to the masjid, they active in the community. And one of those, his son goes to a pre-med straight A students who started to tell his parents, I am really not sure whether or not God exists. When I visited, his mom sneezed and she said, Alhamdulillah, he said, Yarhamukumullah. And they were celebrating the fact that he said, Yarhamukumullah to his mom, maybe he's coming back. So these are part of the realities of our Muslim community. We can say, you know what, we don't care about those research studies. We are fine. We are a good community. That's fine. That's up to us. But as a community, we invest on buildings that can be sold in the futures, the same way we've seen masajid, synagogues and churches being sold. If this masajid, if we don't ensure a new generation of young people who are hold firmly on the deen of Allah, these masajid can be sold one day. We invest in feeding the poor and needy everywhere, which is a great work. We build masajid. It's more important than that, brothers and sisters, is to invest in building a new generation of American Muslims. There is over 2,700 YMCA in America. We established youth centers 15 years ago in mass of almost only 11 youth centers. We built multi-million-dollar masajid that has nothing to accommodate young people. And we need to invest. That's why, alhamdulillah, in mass youth, we serve thousands of preteen and teenagers